Internet, what it is Barry from Look What I Did once again with another episode of Behind the Lyrics. Today we're going to look at a song off of our 2010 record Atlas Drugged. I believe it was actually written in 2007, and the song is I'm Majoring in Psychology. Now we have a music video for it available on YouTube that we released back then. It was directed by Seth Graves, and it features a lot of folks from the Nashville punk rock, metal, underground, hardcore rock scene, etc. But the song was written about my bad experiences with higher education. I dropped out of college my senior year, just not seeing how having the degree would benefit me at all. It kind of felt like I was going to high school part 2, where I was kind of learning things that were basically remedial to high school and weren't giving me any appreciable job skill that I could use for anything. And it was clear that even back then, college was a little bit more affordable when I went, because this would have been like 98, but I was kind of seeing how they were dumbing down college to make it easier for people to get into, and they were offering lots and lots of loans to give people the opportunity to go to college, but college wasn't providing any job skills anymore. It wasn't making you employable. So it was having the effect of basically you're spending a bunch of money to basically be force-fed opinions by professors that largely have nothing to do with, most of universities' focus has been on things like people's opinions about events in history or things like that, rather than actually teaching you like an applied science or something that you can use to make a career. And I get, it's fun to go to college and learn all kinds of interesting things, but with the in the age of the internet, you can learn just about anything you want anyway. And maybe if you're going to take out $100,000 worth of loans, you should do it on something where you're actually be able to make money because of that borrowing of money. And unfortunately, that's not the way the college education has gone. So like back then, when I went to college, everyone was majoring in psychology. It was like the cookie cutter degree that everyone would go get. You're supposed to go to college. What are you going to major in? I'm going to major in psychology. Then suddenly had a million psychology majors, and there really wasn't any job placement in that. Now, if I'd written a song like that about, maybe if I'd gone to college in the 2000s or the 2010s, I might have said something about a humanities degree in the title instead, because that's kind of the cookie cutter degree now. And sadly, the humanities degrees are even harder to monetize after graduation than a cookie cutter degree that actually does have an applied job skill like psychology. But anyway, the song is making fun of this trend that everyone's trying to go to college. Colleges are getting dumbed down and made easier and made closer to, in difficulty and in the information they're providing, high school. And meanwhile, it's costing more and more money and becoming less and less useful, and essentially becoming a waste of money because of how much it's been watered down and expanded. So anyway, this is the lyrics to the song, and we'll break them down. The song's pretty short, but it packs a wallop. So it starts out with, hey, teach, give me some of that. Hey, teach, put it in my ear, give me some of your opinion. So we're talking about how, this person's like, oh, yeah, give it to me, give me that opinion. I really want to hear your opinion, which is sarcastically stated because nobody cares about some random professor's opinion truly about something. It's like, just tell me the facts. But I didn't get that experience when I was in college. I just got opinions about facts. From almost all of my professors. Now the chorus here, the lyrics are books, check them out. Now, Books Check 'Em Out was a kind of a cheesy 1980s PSA about reading, encouraging you to go to the library. Once again, kind of making fun of this one because we don't even need libraries anymore. The internet kind of does all that. But yeah, it was kind of a just a cheesy PSA. What was incredibly cheesy about it is it was a rap song, and a very poorly done rap song, trying to appeal to the youth or something. Adults planning to appeal to the youth need to realize doing so by trying to ape some kind of underground style of music that you have not really heard before much and aren't a fan of is not the way to do it. Anyway, continuing on. Let's spend our parents' money. Let's spend that money good. Let's go to college. Everybody can go to college. That means it matters a lot. So this is where, I feel like the whole student loan crises, that's now a huge buzzword that everyone's talking about. Had they been listening to this song back in the day, they could have skipped out on that because this did come out. The music video came out 9 years ago. So that's 2 rounds of college education that people could have skipped if they listened to the message on this one. But yeah, I mean, the basic point is that if college has been watered down to become the second high school and you're, doing it just to do it, then you're basically wasting money. In this case, it's the parents' money. But I grew up when your parents could afford to send you to college. And then, of course, the student loan crisis has gotten a lot worse. And now nobody's parents can, so you have to borrow money. Hundreds of thousands of dollars for the privilege of being force-fed opinions about historical events that you could probably learn more effectively on YouTube, honestly, at this point. Teach, give me some of that. Baby, that sounds good. Teach, give me some of that. Don't make me stick my hand up to get some of your attention. That's kind of pointing out also the sort of like mass production form of education that we do these days, where you go into a room and are taught information that you maybe already know or don't need to know, depending on which type of person in the room you are, that has no customization to your needs. And in order to get attention, you have to draw attention to yourself to the teacher, essentially, raising your hand in the class to ask a question. It's kind of like the traditional way of doing that. But it just kind of points out that you don't really get your teacher's attention, and that's the person who's educating you. And often they may be educating you on something you already know or do not need to know for any particular reason. Back to the books, check them out. Let's go to college. Everybody can go to college. This part says, show your work or else you cheated. That one isn't directly related to the line. It's just something that really annoyed me about school, and particularly in math, is that I have kind of my mind kind of way it gravitates towards numbers. It's just easier for me to think out math than it is to write it down on paper. And when I write it down on paper, I tend to get a little confused. I have like problems with my mind's like motor coordination to my hand, but I don't have problems with just thinking math out, even multi-step math. So I always had the problem that I could easily do math without writing down the steps, and then the teachers would accuse you of cheating, say you have to write down the steps, and I'm like, why do I need to write down more steps when I have fewer steps in terms of I don't have to write anything and get the answer? And they're saying, well, because that's how we know you didn't cheat or whatever. It's just kind of like, once again, the education that you get is not customized to the things that you need to know. It's really cookie cutter, and dumbed down and watered down such that it, for many people, isn't education at all, and it doesn't help you, stand out in a job field and get a career in most cases. I mean,